And basically what I did was I got a bunch of instruments and I zoomed in really close on the instrument, and you have to guess what instrument it is. And then once we make a guess, I'll put it back out to the original size and you can see if you were right. Okay? So would someone like to venture a guess what this instrument is? Just raise your hand like this or raise your virtual hand and I can. Okay, Isaiah?
A piano.
Okay, really good guess. It does look like a piano. Let's zoom out a little bit and see if we still think that. Do we still think it's a piano? Jocelyn, what do you think?
Accordion.
I think she's right.
I could already tell by the buttons.
Yeah, you saw the buttons right there in front of the key.
Yeah, no piano has that.
Yeah, and then especially, I think if I get my little arrow, especially this part, this is what gives it away. That's why I tried to make it super hard and cut out that part in the first picture. So here is everyone today has said piano until we got into the second picture, so don't feel bad. And then here is the full picture of the accordion. So it does have piano keys, yes. Some accordions do not have these piano keys and some do. I think this is a more like modern accordion, whereas some of the accordions just have these buttons that you can see on the right side. Okay, here's the next instrument. Anybody have a guess? Kaylin? What do you think? Really zoomed in, so it's a little bit difficult.
Tuba? I don't know.
That's a good guess. The tuba is also in the same family as this instrument. Here's it a little bit more zoomed out. Okay, I see a couple hands. Let's see here. Aiden?
The trumpet? No, wait, the trumpet? No,
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And here's the final zoomed out. Now, I understand the tuba, yes, because the tuba is also this same color and this same material. It's just bigger, and you can't tell that whenever it's zoomed in. So that was a good guess. What about this one? Jocelyn.
A drum.
Okay. Is it just one drum?
Nope, two.
We'll see. Let's zoom it out. And here's the final. It's a whole drum set. So I'm sure you guys have seen these where the person sits behind and they can play this bottom drum here with their foot, and then these top cymbals and snare drums. Yeah. All right. Somebody give me a guess that hasn't made a guess yet. Okay, I think you just joined. Go ahead and give me a guess. I asked you to unmute. Nathan, yeah.
A violin.
Okay, good guess. Let's see if he is correct. He looks correct, right? Let's see. All the way out. Is that a violin? So it looks very much like a violin. The only difference is it's standing up and down straight. So it's actually a cello. It's the one that's bigger that you play sitting down with the bow in front of you like this. But it is in the same family, and it does very much look like a violin. Okay, here's another one. Somebody that hasn't given me a guess yet. We have some people still just now joining, so. Okay, Aiden, I'll let you go ahead. No one else is.
A bell.
Okay, it's a bell. I wonder if it's a specific type of bell. Let's see. Here it is zoomed out a little. Jocelyn?
It's kind of like a bracelet bells.
Yeah?
I don't know what it's called. I just call them bracelet bells.
Yeah, there's a song that we sing around Christmas time about this kind of bell. You know what I'm talking about?
Carol of the Bells.
That is also a Christmas song. Good, but I was thinking about Jingle Bells. And that's what these are. These are jingle bells. And I actually have a bunch here in the music room, so maybe I'll grab some for tomorrow and I can play them for you. We can pretend that it's Christmas time. Okay, and I think that might have been, no, I think I have another one. Just waiting for it to load. Remember that we are not using the chat box today. Okay, here it is. This instrument. Kaylin, did you recognize it? You had a reaction. You want to tell us what you think it is?
I forgot what it was called.
Do you remember playing it? Have you ever played it? Yeah. It's called a, well, let me see if someone else remembers before I tell you. Isaiah.
It is a, wait, no.
I think you almost said it.
Xylophone.
Xylophone, very good. And we also call them Orff instruments too, because usually a xylophone has metal keys, but some of you know and have been in the music room and actually played them. We have this kind of instrument also with metal keys here too. So, and here's what it looks like all the way zoomed out. Okay, and I think I have one more. What about these? You may have played these in music class. Jocelyn?
Rhythm sticks.
Rhythm sticks, good. And here's what they look like all the way zoomed out. So you can hit them against each other to keep the beat or the rhythm, and then you can also rub it because it has that grooved part and it makes kind of a different sound. All right. Oh, another one. What does this look like to you? This kind of instrument has all kinds of different designs that are usually on it. So I think I saw somebody with their hand up. Nathan, go ahead.
Maraca or something like that.
That was really good. And that was a super zoomed in picture, but you are correct. It's the maracas. I think this will be the last instrument that we do, and then we'll go on to our lesson. What do you think this one is?
Oh.
Kaden, you want to give a guess what this one is? Kaden,
Yes.
you want to give a guess what this one is?
Guitar?
Guitar. Okay, let's see if he's right. There it is. And that is the guitar. Good job, guys. We're going to switch over to this now. I'm going to stop my share real quick just because the chat box was in my way. Okay. So today we're going to learn this rhyme and review a couple concepts that maybe that you have learned before in music, and it's totally okay if you haven't because we are reviewing / learning, okay? So this rhyme goes like this. Bickle, bockle, blue bottle, fishes in the sea. If you want a partner, just choose me. And you can see the music right down there and the words so that you can follow along with me. I'm gonna say one line and then you say the line after me. And we'll get through this part and then I'll show you what I'm trying to teach you through this. Bickle, bockle, blue bottle.
Fishes in the sea.
Okay, so you're gonna echo me. So when I say bickle, bockle, well, it's kind of like a tongue twister almost. When I say it, then you say it after me, okay? Bickle, bockle, blue bottle. Bickle,
Pickle, buckle, blue bottle.
good. Fishes in the sea.
Fishes in
the sea.
Good. If you want a partner,
If you want a partner,
choose me.
just
choose me.
Okay, and you guys are smart. I know that y'all can learn something like this really fast. So why don't we just all say it together, and then we can go on to the next slide. Ready, go. Bickle,
Pickle, buckle,
buckle,
bottle.
pickle, in those
Want
if you want a partner, just choose me.
Cha-ching.
Really quickly before I go on to the next slide, I'm curious what you guys know about the music notes that I'm looking at here. So, for example, my arrow is pointing at something right now. And what kind of note is that? Does anyone remember? If you remember, raise your virtual hand. Okay, that's all right. We'll just move on and we'll get to that in a second. So this note that you see right here, this is a music note. And when you see this, it's called a quarter note because that means that it takes up one beat. This is one of the most simple notes in music because every time you see it, you know that it takes up one beat or one sound, okay? We call it the quarter note. That's the kind of note that it is when we are reading it in music, because music is something you read just like your library. It's just a different way to read. When we read it in music, we call it ta. And I'll show you that here in a second, how we use it. So just remember that when you see this kind of note, it's called a quarter note, or you can call it ta, okay? Then we have another kind of note that we see. It's called the pair of eighth notes. Does anyone have an idea why we say pair of eighth notes instead of just an eighth note? Jocelyn? Sorry, you gotta unmute. I think it muted whenever I got kicked out. There you go.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
It's because it has two taws in it and it just has a line across.
Okay, I like where your brain is at and I like the way you're thinking, except it's not two taws because if it was a taw by itself takes up one beat. And these two notes by themselves take up one beat. So that means each one of these only equals half of a beat, right? Because 1/2 plus 1/2 equals 1. So it's called a pair of eighth notes, and I don't remember if I put a picture of an eighth note. Let me check. Yes, I did. So this is what a single eighth note looks like by itself. And this kind of note only gets 1/2 of a beat. But when you see a pair of eighth notes together, you can tie them like this with that little bracket you see. And we call that TT when we're reading it, and you'll see why later. So just remember when you see this funny house looking shape with two notes, that's called a pair of eighth notes, and we call it TT. All right, we'll come back to the eighth note and talk about that again later. So when you're looking at this now, you notice that we have these kinds of notes, the pair of eighth notes, and we also have the single quarter notes, which as you can see here, the stem can go down on the left or it can go up on the right. It's the same kind of note, it just has a different stem. Can everybody just take like a quick minute and count through this whole thing and see how many pairs of eighth notes that you see, okay? Go ahead and do that now. I'll give you about 30 seconds. And raise your hand as soon as you got your answer. Okay, looks like Isaiah has his answer. Why don't you unmute and tell us how many pairs of eighth notes you see?
I see 8. Wait, no, 7.
7? Okay, let's see if other people agree with that number. Jocelyn, do you see 7? I think you're muted again.
I counted 6.
Okay, let's see. Did anybody else come up with a different number than they did? Okay, Aiden, what about you? Oh, you saw 4? Okay, let's look at it and count them all together. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pairs of eighth notes. Okay, and now let's look through and count how many quarter notes like this or like this we can see. Okay, so go through and count those. Give you about 30 seconds again. Wow, some of you are fast. Okay, Maxton, what do you think? How many did you find?
7.
Okay, you saw 7. Jocelyn, what about you?
I counted 5.
Okay, she counted 5. Isaiah? How many quarter notes did you count? I'll come back to you in a second, okay? Because I see Gabriel has his hand up. Is that your name, Gabriel? Okay. How many did you count?
5.
5. Okay.
Same.
I would let everybody
I
say,
thought-
say how many they found, but we're actually almost out of time, so I'm going to count them with you so we can see how many are in there. 1. This is not a quarter note because is it filled in? No, this is a different kind of note. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you said 5, then you're correct. Good job. We are all out of time for this class. Tomorrow when we come back, we will be looking at these fish symbols, and I will tell you what that means tomorrow, okay? I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and get some good sleep tonight, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.